What's up, guys? Dimebot here, and we are currently out in the California sector taking a look at some stuff with these community goals. And unfortunately, I think this is probably going to be kind of a little bit of a rambling video, a little bit of a complaining video, a little bit of a state of the game and what Frontier needs to do kind of video. So obviously you can see a wrecked megaship right in front of us. It's actually a fairly impressive sight, I'm not going to lie. But the real thing I want to talk about, and we need to recall our fighter here.
Roger that. Commencing fighter recovery.
Is community goals and kind of how they need to be revamped. So if we take a look here, protecting Alliance supply lines. Now I haven't been going super hard on this goal, as you can see. So the top 75% right now would earn 4.5 million credits. The top 10 would receive 19 million. Now you extrapolate out, that's probably going to jump up to 40 or 50 million for the top tiers once the goal ends. However, and I've actually been doing this myself, there are plenty of ways to make way more than this. And that's kind of a problem. When you can make 50 to 75 to 100 million an hour just by running passenger missions, and yes, I'm sure Frontier will nerf that as they have nerfed other things in the past, but when you can make that much money, it takes away your incentive to go do the community goals. Now, yeah, I know community goals oftentimes have a lot of story stuff wrapped up in them, but there's only 2,500 people contributing to this. And if we look at this one, it's even lower. There's only 1,500 people. It hasn't even reached tier 2, and this thing ends in just a day's time. So I understand that Frontier wants to incentivize us to take part in story events, and I know that there's a lot of revamping coming. This is 2018 is the year to kind of overhaul core game mechanics, starting with trade in quarter 1, but I think that something needs to be done to balance the payouts that we can get, whether that's bumping up community goals or whether that's really taking the hammer to some of those systems and getting rid of some of these loopholes, and maybe that's what trade will do. They need to find a way to incentivize us more to come out here and do these goals. So, if we take a look, the California sector, we're way out here in the California Nebula. There's the bubble right there. Let's pull up the faction view to make it even easier to see. There's the bubble, the power play bubble, and here's where we are. This is not a long trip. It's only about 1,000 light years, but it's not an insignificant trip, and you need to spend a week's time out here to get your money. And if you're running some of the other types of missions, in a week's time, you could have earned 1 billion credits, as opposed to, if you place in the top 10% of commanders, maybe 50 million. There's a huge disparity in payouts here and incentives. Now, back when we used to get things like discounts on ships and things like that, there was
Copy that. Going live.
definite reason to
It's okay, Commander. I got it.
to actually go and do the community goals, but not really so much anymore. Like I said, maybe one of my suggestions would be to go ahead and change up the way that the goals are paid out. Maybe add goals that are shorter, or go back to more multi-stage goals that have bigger story implications. Right now, it's just kind of not working.
Okay, Commander. Focusing my attack on your target.
I mean, I like combat goals as much as anybody else. They're pretty damn fun. Especially when I get to fly my fighter, because this guy is, no real competition. But there's a lot coming down the pipeline this year, such as the squadrons and the revamped exploration, trading, and mining. If they would go ahead and maybe share some information with us, because Frontier is notoriously secretive and iterative about what they're doing. But it's a frustration that I've seen several places around YouTube and around the forums, and there's no incentive for us to do anything besides go around and exploit the loopholes in the system to make money. it's probably hurting the game. In fact, I'd definitely say it's hurting the game. But Frontier can definitely do something about it. They just have to put in a little effort and communicate with us. Let us know what's coming down the pipeline. Maybe give us a idea of the balancing, or go ahead and balance things in a beta and let players test it out. That's usually where they get a lot of really good feedback.
That's one for the salvage crew.
Anyways, guys, yeah, just kind of my thoughts on what's been going down recently in Elite. We have a lot of people that have been talking about this stuff in our Discord, so it's something that was on my mind. Speaking of, if you are an Elite Dangerous player and you're looking for a friendly community that also plays a bunch of other games, feel free to click the Discord invite link in the description below. We have a lot of Elite players. My Discord's pretty chill, and we'd love to have you. Alright guys, that is going to do it for me. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts on what Frontier could do, or your own experiences with community goals, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'd be interested to read them, and if you'll pardon me, I'm going to wreck this further launch now.